and only two keys have anything to do with the candidates: incumbent charisma and challenger charisma. And these are incredibly high threshold keys, asking whether the candidates are one of those once in a generation, inspirational, across the board candidates who appeal to a wide swath of the American voters. So here are the keys Democrats have lost. The mandate key, because they lost U.S. House seats, even though they did better than expected in 2022. Obviously, the incumbency key. The incumbent charisma key, because whatever you may think of Kamala Harris, she's no Franklin Roosevelt. That's three. And then the two hardest keys to call were the foreign/military failure and success keys. We have two wars raging, and things can change unpredictably in wars. But I split the keys, which I think is right. And the one I docked the Democrats on was a foreign policy failure. The Middle East is a absolute humanitarian catastrophe with no end in sight. So that's four keys down, two keys short of what we needed to predict Donald Trump coming back in the White House. That's why the keys are telling us predictively that we are going to have a new and unprecedented president.
Now, I know you mentioned that there's no key that outweighs others, but are there any specific pivotal keys in this upcoming election that you think are more interesting than others?
Well, I think what's interesting is how the keys took into account the unprecedented shifting within the Democratic Party, with the sitting president withdrawing almost on the eve of the convention. I was very critical of the Democrats for openly, out in public, trashing viciously their sitting president. I've never seen that before, and I've studied U.S. politics since the founding. And I was very critical because I thought they were heading not only to lose the incumbency key by pushing Biden out, but heading for a disaster by having a big party brawl and losing the contest key for the White House party. No White House party has ever been reelected when they've lost both those keys. Well, maybe they listened to me, and I broadcast this a lot, but at least they grew a spine and a brain and united behind Harris, salvaging the contest key. So that meant the withdrawal of Biden only cost them one key, the incumbency key. But the Harris candidacy helped with two other keys. The third party key. Voters don't have to choose between two old white guys anymore. I hate saying that, being an old white guy myself, but I think it contributed to the fizzling and withdrawal of RFK Jr. And the social unrest key. The protests were directed against Biden. He's now in the background. Harris is in the foreground. The protests have fizzled. So the keys fully take into account everything that's happened, as unprecedented as it may be, within the Democratic Party.